A lot of people think that the world doesn't have a king. Like, we just have a president. But you don't realize that that president is under the king. Everything in this world is under that king, bro. Most people probably have the weird perception that the king and the pope are like kind of like in the same place, but no. That's so when you call yourself a Christian, you're under the Vatican, you're under the king, you're under the king, you're under the pope, you're under all that shit that the Bible talks about, bro. When you're in Christianity, it's so backwards. You'll have no idea. And you have to like literally denounce it. And you have to denounce it, bro. King, whatever you want to call it, you're under the Pope, nigga. That's the word. Yes, nigga. You might not have known that shit. Under that system, they have a whole subconscious like program that they can have on you, kind of. All that Christianity stuff is directly connected to the Vatican. Christianity says we can't be naked. Since the beginning of time, we haven't been naked as a world of people, and we don't understand how deep the lie goes. It's a program inside of your computer that you have to delete if you want to really experience and know the truth. It's like once you let go of all the bullshit ass lies, bro. Because some of the stuff that I talk about, I just be talking. I'm not saying I know nothing. I don't know nothing, bro. I made it to the point to where I could be seeing everything now. I'm just an observer. So I just be trying to like just talk, nigga, with shit that I see. That's all that I do. I started to see this shit was weird since I was a kid. All of my senses since I was a kid was telling me that this world is weird as fuck because of Christianity. Nigga, I was born out of a sin. Like, mom and dad, were y'all married when y'all had sex? I'm a bastard ass kid. What? That's crazy. Marriage is when you merge, nigga. You already married. That's the whole ring, and the finger is the fucking penis and vagina. Everything is sex, bro. They suppress sexual energy, bro, when it shouldn't be suppressed like that. It should be controlled and channeled. You know what I mean? It should be like, bro, it's so suppressed to the point to where people are getting AIDS and shit. You know what I'm like, bro? People are watching porn, dog, every day, multiple times a day and shit because of the suppression of sex. That's why you're fucking jack off. You can't get a hug from a girl if you wanted to. There's social anxiety like a motherfucker. Not me. I'm good. I can go up to anybody in the world and ask for a hug and not feel ashamed of it. Truth and transparency is the most highest vibration. It don't matter how much love you got. Unconditional love is transparent. As long as you can have genuine love and respect for the individual in front of you. That's the problem with like a lot of relationships nowadays. It's either the dude or the girl don't have genuine respect for the other person's feelings, bro. Think about this Christian society, bro. Another thing about the Christian society, okay, so back in ancient days, we would have totem poles everywhere, right? We would have them everywhere, okay? You got to know this about just the land that we live on. There was never a cross on this land. There was always totems. So let me tell you what they did to our spirit. They dawed it all the way out. Go look at how beautiful our totems were. The poles that we had up everywhere. Now come look at the poles that the colonizers, that the Puritans, look at what the Christians put up. Jesus is God, nigga. All down everywhere. You can't run from it if you hide. Even if you hide, you can't run from the cross. And then guess what that is? That's a whole energy grid locked down with the cross. They're putting power on the cross, nigga. Electrifying that shit. Your spirit see a beautiful ass light when it looks at that goddamn cross. And you don't even notice it. People are honest and don't care about other people's feelings because they don't know that the other person is God inside of that person, and they don't know that it's God inside of them watching them treat that other person too. Period. Like, people think that Jesus and shit left, nigga. That's what they told us. They told us that God left, bro. And that's why the world is the way it is, bro, because we don't know that God inside of us, nigga. Only person that ever had God inside of him was Jesus, bro. He's the only person that can fix it. Do y'all hear this story? It's a curse from the devil, the actual, really the real one that everybody's scared of. The Wicked Witch of the West, bro. If you can believe it or not, yeah. There's a Wicked Witch of the West. Like, you gotta realize that this cross, this idea of the world being cursed since the beginning of the time by the female eating the apple, this Jesus is the only person who had God in him. None of this stuff is new. On this land 2,000 years ago, even before, like, not even 2,000 years ago, there was never any shit like this. And you see them taking it everywhere and like telling you that that's it, bro. You better prepare because God's coming back to judge all of us. So you better not have sex unless you're married. Do y'all see where you are now? Like, you can't say that it's not true because everybody thinks that Jesus is coming back in a real way, but only in Western society. And they're so fucking gung-ho that every other religion and shit, and everybody who has sex before marriage, and everybody who doesn't follow Jesus is going to hell. That's what they believe. But let me tell you about the story of the resurrection of Jesus, right? That story is the story of Isis and Osiris from Egypt. Osiris was resurrected from the dead by his wives in Egypt. But there was other ancient cultures and much more stories. Their gods, they were describing how the fucking universe was worked. It wasn't a god like fucking Christianity. Thousands and thousands of years before Jesus had came, they had already resurrected Osiris and way more other people. Inanna from ancient Sumeria had already had stories like this because it's the story of creation of the universe. Jesus just came and said, we're all fucking cursed and he's the only way that we can go to heaven. But that's not really what it says. It's in parables, but mainstream Christianity teaches it like that. It's telling you, you is him, I am. All the stories of the miracles Jesus did. In all ancient texts, there was people who walked on water. There were people who resurrected people from the dead. Go back to the story of Osiris and Isis. Isis resurrected her husband from the dead because his body was broken into 14 pieces. None of this, nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. You can only take the true story and like try to rewrite it in the best way you can, but they didn't do that. They distorted it. All these ancient cultures took the same story and just kept trying to, you know, remake it the best they could. It's like the telephone game. But Christianity destroyed it on purpose. Destroyed the woman on purpose. Why? Why does the Illuminati worship penis? Why do they do the right side up pyramid? Why do they worship light? Why is Jesus and Christianity all about light? Why is Jesus the truth, the way, and the light? Who is the darkness then? They just said the devil was like fucking the hell place. And you gotta understand something when you hear me talking about darkness. The darkness is not bad. Yes, there is bad things that go on in the darkness. Yes, there's bad things that go on in the light. Yes, there's good things that go on in the light. It's the, bro, you can go in the darkness, and the darkness, you really just see shit for what it is. And like you kind of create, nigga. Like you can't know anything unless you go in the darkness, so that way you can observe the light. That's only reason. That's the only, when I talk about darkness, I'm talking about going in the darkness to observe the light. These people go in the darkness and they get twisted in the darkness, and then they're gonna have to come back out into the light. Yes, they're gonna pay for all this shit. So everybody that's out here in the light doing bad, they're like out in the darkness is really where their shadow self is doing all this shit. But their shadow self is gonna have to come back out in this light and pay for this shit again. That's how that shit works. That's reincarnation, bro. That's why everybody's paying for their fucking bullshit. I'm not saying that this is the only light, so they might get reincarnated into another light, a hellish type light, because they fucking try to destroy this one. So now they gotta go fucking get destroyed. That's probably your hell vision. All of these people, they definitely distort darkness, bro. I sun gaze for years. I look at the sun every single day. As soon as I walk outside, I look at the sun with my bare eyes. No glasses. The sun is not a ball of fire. It's a whole black ball. It's like a little ring around it, but in the middle it's black. It's the only thing it is a ring, and that mug just spinning. Kind of like a portal type shit. That's what the sun is. It's just a little snake right there spinning in a circle. Anybody who sun gaze know that shit, that the sun is black. I mean, it's not black, it's just a snake. It's a snake sitting there just spinning, pushing that dark matter into this universe as light, somehow, some way. So since we're in Christian society, we think that everything's evil. We can't look at the stars. We can't look at the ancient cultures. We can't look at the ancient cultures. So let me tell you why they call it Christianity. Because they're anti-self, anti-Christ. So this Christianity really means dead. Okay, so like since you're black and you're a Christian, oh damn, that's double.